I decided to not look for a perfect location today, and I found this one that is not exactly perfect lighting, but anyways. Today I think is the last day that you can see me with the red hair actually, because I just started the channel, but I've been 5 years with red color, or actually 7 maybe, 5 to 7 years, and I felt like it's time to change it, so tomorrow I'm going to my hairdresser. And today I wanted to talk to you about the question if it's normal to jump from one tattoo artist to another, what are the consequences of that, how we tattooers feel about it, and if it's normal, nice, etc. So speaking of this, there's many aspects, and I will be discussing only my own personal opinion. Of course, it's up to everyone what to do with their body, and it's up to every tattoo artist how to work. But I had an interesting conversation once with my friends, and I wanted to describe and share it with you in this video. So I was in Germany with a client of mine who did a 3 days in a row leg piece with me in New York Empire State Tattoo Convention. I think you already remember this piece, most likely, because most of my YouTube followers are also following me on Instagram, where I post all my works and portfolio. So this guy with the nice tattoo that we managed to finish in 3 days that took Best of Show in New York Empire State. We met up to take photos of the healed work, and we invited my friend, tattoo artist, and his girlfriend, also tattooer, to have a dinner with us. And on the dinner, my client, he started telling a story how he went to Canada and started talking to one tattoo artist, mentioning another one. I don't know if it's actually very private, but I don't think so. So anyway, it was regarding the topic that some tattoo artists are reacting more or less to discussion of other tattooers' works. And some people don't care about it when a client is talking to you during the session or before the session about it. And some artists react more. And so my friend said that it's totally not important to him. He likes other tattooers' works, and he doesn't mind if client is bringing up another tattoo artist before the session or discussing a project or anything like that. And he doesn't understand jealousy in the industry in general. And then I could feel something weird about it, and I came up with this idea that, in my opinion, it's nice to feel some certain type of commitment from the client. It doesn't mean that he is not supposed to get tattooed by other artists. It doesn't mean that I'm so egoistic or whatever, or so self-in-love, even though, yes, I do many self-portraits. Is not exactly so irrational, you know, how it can seem. No, in my opinion, when a client comes to me and we start working on a project together, because he tells me which body part he wants to make, I give him my arguments on why I would suggest bigger area or different area, or we work on this one that he offered, why, how we do the design, all this stuff. So we're discussing working moments, and if during that he's going to another artist or saying how amazing another artist is, or he's saying how he's planning to go to him next week or anything like that, in the process of our session or before, what happens is that I'm not really triggered, but at the same time I am, and I will explain how. So people function on different level of thinking. There is consciousness, subconsciousness, and limbic brain. Limbic brain is the one responsible for survival, for most basic reactions and instincts. So when we fall on the ground and we put a hand to protect ourselves, we don't think about it, so it's unconscious action. So consciousness is strictly connected to ego concept, and ego is more like I'm more separated, my work matters, my opinion matters, my personality, it's all very separated thing. And subconsciousness is something more open to the world, more connected to the rest of things, and is more in the field, let's say, or something like that. So it's good to a certain degree to get rid of this ego guiding you. For example, in relationships, if you will stay too much in your ego, you will constantly be in confrontation with your partner, you will be fighting for power instead of building relationship as a team. So you need to give it up a little bit in certain situations. And in general, it's healthy to understand that you are not your personality that you imagine. You are much bigger. You can identify with any concept of yourself that you can imagine, and you can actually change many of your reactions, behaviors, and so on, for your best even. But here, As an artist, I believe that from one point, yes, you are connecting to the global paradigm of things, to the nature, to many concepts in general. You can be representing social norms in your work, you can be representing a protest against it, you can be representing natural powers, human feelings, and so on. But at the same time, a big part of it is your ego. Is your ability to concentrate on your own imagination, to go inwards, to look inwards, and to actually say something to the world, express it, and create a work. So anyway, art, I think, cannot be very separated from ego, no matter how hard you try. Yes, you can use chemicals or whatever to expand your thinking and kind of what people believe connect to your subconsciousness. However, you are still yourself, and your voice must be strong when you're doing your art. You want to be recognized, you want to be at least recognizable, and you want to have your own style. So it's very ego-oriented at the end anyway, no matter how hard you want to go away from it, my opinion. So when a client tells me that before our session, what happens in my perception is that in order to create the best work that I could, I have to believe in the moment very hard. I have to be in a very certain state of mind. I have to believe very hard that this project is my best work ever, that I ever did. Like, there will nothing be better than that. I need to believe in it for a few hours that I'm working on it. Otherwise, I will not give my best simply. And so if a client tells me how amazing is another artist and how he booked an appointment with him, how he wants to talk to him about some concept or maybe even ask his advice about it, what it tells me is that my client doesn't believe it, that my work now will be the best, and maybe it's realistic. Of course, probably it's realistic and it's true, but he destroys my illusion. And this illusion is necessary for me to go into this space where I give my best. That is all. In my opinion, it makes perfect sense. And this is one of the aspects, is this kind of professional jealousy, let's say. And I can compare it to intimacy. When people are in this space, they need to believe it's the very best connection that they ever had. Only in this way they will receive maximum of pleasure. That's the only way. If you are disappointed, if you collected resentment, it is proven you will never be able to enjoy as much as if you were positively thinking about this situation. So the better we think about someone or something or some process or our work in this case, the stronger is our intention, the stronger is our energy, and the better outcome we can get out of it. That's why I'm interested in sexology that much, because creative energy and this energy, they are completely similar. So saying that, I also want to mention that when one artist is working on one piece, actually he is able to control the composition. Another question is not all artists are able to control composition and to lead it and to compose good balance of objects or spots or colors or whatever. But that's another question. So ideally, when you come to a professional that knows how to work with a big project and you give him a full body part, as I always say, this artist will be able to make his best. Yes, I respect tattoo collectors. I like to see works of my colleagues. I feel some certain stimulation working to very top of the industry, next to very top of the industry to their tattoos on someone. It's kind of competing feeling. When you do that, it's also flattering, it's nice. But at the end, what we get is that when you look at this client tattoo collector from afar, most likely you don't understand what's going on his body parts, especially speaking of realism, but any style actually. And you can see that it's done by different people. That's what I'm trying to say. And in my opinion, the beautiful tattoo is highly related to having ability from far, while you can see the person, still be able to distinguish what's going on his body parts, what was depicted, what is the drawing, to appreciate the concept, the composition. I'm kind of a perfectionist. And in this way, if you're giving one artist to work on your project, you are potentially getting a better result from this aspect and from emotional aspects, such as you are trusting the artist with his work. You are not bringing up somebody's name during intimacy, you know, basically. Imagine you're like with someone laying in this situation and you're like, oh, by the way, I also like Maria so much, you know. Well, why do you need to tell me this right now? You can tell me after we finish at least our connection, you know. Same with clients. I think it's a very similar idea and concept, and not many people will admit it. Not many people will notice it in themselves, but maybe these people neither are trying to give their best. My opinion, curious to see your comments, feel free, I will appreciate the feedback. And let me know how the YouTube thing is going, because I just started. I'm really struggling with technical aspect of all of that, and I'm hoping to get better soon. Adios.